Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's check out some more Reddit. Am I the asshole? Let's go! Am I the asshole for asking my neighbor to stop using my driveway for their guests? Ooh, I've dealt with this so many times. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood and have noticed that my neighbor's guests frequently use my driveway for parking without asking. I've asked them politely several times to stop, explaining that it disrupts my access and causes frustration since I need the driveway for my own vehicle. Exactly what I went through. Despite my requests, their guests continue to park there. I'm considering putting up a no parking sign to address the issue, but I'm concerned it might escalate tensions. Who gives a fuck? I mean, you already tried asking the first time, hey, don't park there because I literally can't get into my house, and they're still doing it, so fuck them. My neighbor is now angry and claims I'm being unreasonable, saying it's only occasional and doesn't really inconvenience me. Am I the asshole for insisting they find alternative parking? Okay, well, at the beginning of the story, you said your neighbor's guests frequently use your parking space. So frequently implies it happens more than occasionally. So I completely agree with you putting the no parking space sign to get your space back. I feel strong about this story because it's something that I also went through in the past. I mean, another solution you could do, since they are taking up your actual driveway, you can just call a tow truck. Have them tow the cars away. That'll for sure stop them. So OP, yeah, completely, you are not the asshole. Fuck your neighbor and yeah, claim your space back, dude. Alright, moving on. Am I the asshole for refusing to switch seats on a plane with a couple who wanted to sit together? Well, why didn't they book it together if they wanted to sit together? That's not on you. I, 32 female, recently flew for a work trip, and I specifically paid extra to book a window seat because I like to have a little privacy and enjoy looking out during the flight. Once I got settled in, a couple came up to me and asked me if I could switch seats with one of them so they could sit together. The seat they wanted to switch with me was a middle seat further back, which I didn't want. I politely declined, explaining that I paid extra for my window seat. They seemed annoyed. Fuck them! They seemed annoyed, saying it wouldn't be a big deal since the flight wasn't too long. It's not too long, then go fucking sit back where you came from, dude. They seemed annoyed, saying it wouldn't be a big deal since the flight wasn't too long, and accused me of being inconsiderate for not helping them out. Later, the person sitting next to me suggested that I could have just switched to make it easier for them, and now I'm feeling a little bit guilty. I paid for the seat I wanted, but maybe I was being too rigid? Am I the asshole for refusing to switch seats with the couple? Fuck no, you're not. And you know what? Your little neighbor guy sitting next to you? Fuck him too for making you feel like shit. Alright, this is like a simple solution. You get the seat you paid for. They get the seat they paid for. It's not a long flight like this dude over here is saying. Just sit down, shut the fuck up, and let's get to our destination. I don't know, I hate this whole concept of like switching seats in the plane and all this stuff. Like, you get what you paid for, alright? You were smart enough, you booked the window seat, you wanted the window seat, that's what you get, that's what you should get. But anyways, OP, you are completely not the asshole. I am siding with you 100%. I don't know, just, everyone sucks. Everyone in the plane sucks, you don't suck. Anyways, moving on. Am I the asshole for ignoring my ex who cheated on me when we ran into each other years later? No. No, you're not. I need some perspective on something that happened to me recently. I ran into an ex from my past, and I'm wondering if I handled it poorly. For some context, I was in a relationship with a girl when I was in high school. Our relationship was a bit tumultuous, with lots of breakups and reconciliations. But we were still together when I left for military service. About 6 months into my deployment, I started seeing messages on her Facebook wall from another guy. When I confronted her about these messages, she insisted that they were just from an old friend and reassured me that nothing romantic was happening. Okay. A couple of days later, I got a message from her admitting she had been cheating.
What a twist!
A couple of days later, I got a message from her admitting that she had been cheating on me since the day I left. Since the day you left, dude? Okay, she was already with this person, assuming probably emotionally she was already with this person while you were still there and you just didn't realize it. I mean, if it happened the day you left, there was probably something going on. It was devastating and I had a hard time moving on from the betrayal. Fast forward to now, about 10 years later, I was at work and I saw her there unexpectedly. I didn't recognize her right away, But when she called my name and I realized who it was, I decided to pretend I didn't know her. She approached me and asked, "Do you remember me?" I said, "I'm sorry, I don't." She looked really hurt, but tried to continue the conversation, so I told her I needed to get back to work and left it at that. My coworkers think I was cold-hearted for not acknowledging her and think I should have at least had a polite conversation, but honestly, given how things ended between us, I had no interest in reconnecting or even acknowledging her presence. So am I the asshole for pretending not to remember my ex when I ran into her 10 years later? No, I would say not really. I mean, she cheated on you in probably the worst way possible. I don't know if it's the worst way possible, but it seems like she was already cheating on you before you even got deployed and all this stuff. Even if it was like emotional cheating, it's still cheating either way. I mean, like, I get you can just like say hi, bye, whatever, just, I mean, acknowledge that they're there, but you don't have to do that. And your coworkers think you should have at least had a conversation, a polite conversation. And what really for? Like, hey, you remember when you cheated on me 10 years ago? That was crazy. Yeah, I would say not the asshole. I probably, if I was in your situation and this happened to me, I wouldn't want to talk to that person. If they hurt me that bad, I would cut them out from my life. I don't need to acknowledge their existence anymore. I mean, I'm not going to wish hurt on that person. I'm not going to wish that bad things happen to them or whatever. They're just not going to be like a thought in my head. I don't need to acknowledge them. Anyways, I'm on your side, OP. I agree with you just ignoring her straight out. I don't know what your coworkers are on about. They don't know the situation. They don't know the full story probably. So yeah, ignore your coworkers. Just follow your instincts, your gut, whatever. But yeah, not the asshole. Am I the asshole for flipping off a group of children for fat shaming? Okay. This morning, I, 24 female, went to Starbucks to do some homework. As I got out of my car and began to walk toward the building, I heard loud giggling and shouting coming from the car next to me, windows down. From the car, someone yelled out, "Run, fatty, run," followed by oinking Jesus. I wasn't too offended, but it was a crude enough comment to warrant flipping the bird behind me as I continued into the store. I think you were pretty offended to do that. I'm not offended, but... Well, before I got to the door, a lady came out and started berating me for flipping off her children. In her defense, she didn't hear what transpired before I flipped the almighty bird. In my defense, I was too caught up in the brief moment to process that the voice was that of a young kid/teenager. Okay, if it was well, how'd you not know? Now here is where I might be the A. I didn't apologize to the woman. I told her what her kid had said, and if they were old enough to berate a woman for her weight, then they are old enough to be getting the middle finger. She didn't say much, but scoffed and stuttered and told me I was a rotten lady. I told her she should teach her kids the art of kindness before they turn out as rotten as me. I went into the store and she left in her car with no further interaction between the two of us. Am I the A? I'm not sure if these kids deserved a bird, but hey, I'm from Jersey, it's second nature. No, I kind of disagree. Like, okay, you said it didn't offend you, but yet you still flipped off the bird. I think it offended you enough to do that, but I also don't believe you that you said that you didn't recognize that those voices were kids. Like, I feel like it's pretty easy to know a kid from an adult voice. I don't know, that's just me. But I am kind of leaning a little bit towards you being the asshole for flipping off a kid, even though you claim you didn't realize it was a kid. I don't know. I feel like maybe the better situation would have just been to ignore it and walk on. I don't know, that's something I would have done. I wouldn't acknowledge the insults because I feel like that just gives the insult, power, I guess, if that's the right saying. You know what, this is kind of those situations where everyone sucks. The kids suck for insulting, a bigger person. They shouldn't do that, especially if they're a teenager. I feel like they should already somewhat know that, that's kind of rude to say to somebody. And I also don't really agree with you acknowledging the insult and flipping someone off. I mean, because I feel like that'll just escalate things. And it kind of did, like the mom came out and tried to get in your face. But I don't know, I guess I'll say everyone sucks. UOP suck a little bit less, but everyone sucks. Well, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Reddit, Am I the Asshole? If you guys enjoyed these stories, go ahead and let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Also, feel free to let me know if I had any bad takes, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Later.